Hi, Greg Stolze here with a quick word about the characters of Mansteel and Chirp. So, responsible S&M is about safety, boundaries, consent, communication, and aftercare. And it's more clear in the character write-ups that the players received that Chirp and Mansteel do none of that. They are, and I want to be really clear about this, an abusive and sick relationship using legit BDSM culture as protective coloration. So, just wanted to be clear about that. Thanks and enjoy. The way this works, for this session, you are going to switch out to members of the opposition. However, that doesn't happen right away. And so remember the characters from the initial session. There's one scene, there's an important scene with them first, and then an important scene with them at the end. And yeah, ideally, you wouldn't have all had the same character. I think you're like 4/5 Karens, right?
Yeah.
Starting to suspect one character was maybe a little easier to play entertainingly and effectively, but okay. Todd, you were a non Karen, right?
That's right. I was Jesse.
Okay, and so Adam and Steve, you were both Karens. PK, you were a Karen and someone else.
Yeah, the second time I played, I was Kim.
Okay.
So I could pull up Kim's information if you.
Yeah, if you want to pull up Jesse and Kim. This shouldn't be very rolling intensive, and I've got their character sheets printed out. But so out of the 7 session ones, there was let's see. I think most people got away with the head, with or without. Some people got away with the head, but somebody cut a bullet in the throat. Some people got away with the head and only minor injuries. One group just decided to scrub the damn mission and leave the head in place. And other groups got the head stolen by the opposition, Volpo's group. Everyone called them Volpo's group, even though he's not in charge. But
I don't think our group ever met Volpo that I recall. I don't.
Yeah,
remember.
I left him out of. I left him out of a couple just to see what. Oh, so you're the one person playing Count Volpo who has not actually encountered Count Volpo.
I will not be influenced at all by your presentation of Volpo previously.
I basically played him like a florid Fraser Crane, except when not that. Except when he bit that dude in the stomach in one session, and then another dude in the kneecap.
I was the stomach session.
Yes, that was a good one. So yeah, in some sessions, the opposition successfully swiped the head and made off with it. So yeah, raise your hand if in your session your guys got the head. Okay, so we'll just assume that for this one, you made off with the head successfully and are now, rocking down the road with it, either taking it to Ohio or preparing to stash it in a storage locker somewhere till the heat dies down. So you're in your caravan. You've got Karen and Claugenet probably bickering in the outback. You've got Kim in his van. Probably Dr. A is probably driving his own car. Jesse's probably with one of the two of them. So let's start it with Jesse and Kim in Jesse's van. Does that sound okay?
Yeah, that sounds great.
Yeah. All right. So the two of you are in there, and there is a little knock from the back where there shouldn't be anyone. just like on the roof of the van. Excuse me.
Is there somebody up there?
No, I'm inside. It's fine.
Jesse? Did you
I
see
hear it.
anybody get on?
And this head in a what do you call it? You know how in the 70s when people would rob convenience stores, they'd pull a stocking over their head to obscure their features?
Yep.
Yeah.
This person's done that, but you can see that under the stocking, their face is gradually seething and changing shape. And they've got those blue nitrile gloves, but as they reach and grab the or touch the back of the chair, you see the glove get bigger and then shrink as the hand within it. First it gets bigger, then its width diminishes, but the fingers stay long. So you guys have seen enough weird stuff that you don't have to immediately take stress checks, I don't think. But this thing says, hey, do you mind if we pull over? I'm not real comfortable not having a seatbelt.
Yeah, let's pull over. Yeah.
In fact, I roll out and open up the side door to the van as quickly as I can for them.
All right. Do the others see the van? Are you guys caravanning or?
Makes sense.
Yeah, I think we're caravanning. We're all in a line or whatever. We're all in traffic together, if there's traffic.
All right. So you open the back, and this entity is looking at the head and saying, "Wow, that is one big head." And yeah, it's a really good likeness.
So
Entity.
Are you the thing that the head is representing?
That's a complicated answer. And as it speaks, you can notice that the sky is getting darker. The rest of you pull over, and as you pull over, you see that traffic is slowing down. And by the time you've pulled over, it's like the sun has shrunk into this small, dim, dime-shaped dot in the sky. It's like everything's gotten very clouded over, and you can see that the other cars haven't pulled over and stopped. They've frozen in time. The birds overhead are still. The grass has stopped waving in mid-wave. And, the person comes out of the truck and looks around and is like, don't worry, I wanted to have a little pause. This works fine solar powered. The old guy used to do this off explosions. Can you believe that shit?
That damn Bill Tuggy again.
Who the hell are you? I ask.
Like I said, it's complicated. I guess I'm going by the human eternal now. It's yeah. And he, slaps the side of the head. So this universe thing, let me try and summarize. The demiurge, the creator, sets rules and the universe follows them, right? What in a primitive structure you would call God. Not so much, but the demiurge is kind of an elected position formed by representative mind forms from a dead cosmos, the shells, the world before the world, and points at Dr. A and says, the rhythm of cataclysm, right? So this world now, and stomps its feet on the blacktop, is collecting a parliament of souls to burn down, to fuel everything re-demiurging. But while this is happening, someone has to oversee the rules, right? So around 2003, the old manager got really tired and cranky. And at that time, I was extremely unhappy and power mad and horny. so I offered to take over the job. So this is the old bone setter of days and years. They used to call him the Comte de Saint-Germain, doesn't matter. They are still around, but in a very angry, nihilistic form. But see, this is a link to the old order, the before times, the arrangement without me. Hey, let's imagine a building. You like buildings, right? An apartment building with different people separate and sometimes arguing but living together, okay? Now, there was a superintendent, someone who patched broken walls between apartments and stopped leaks in space-time and whatnot, who lived in the basement of reality and had keys to get into your life when you weren't there. That was them, but now it's me, and it's complicated. Anyway, this head is a portrait of the previous super, right? They left the building for good reasons. They're supposed to be outside now. But what I'm worried is that the head could let them like scrape up some parts of that old identity, like a fired superintendent who made copies of apartment keys. You don't want a building super who got fired to have keys to your apartment, do you?
No, that doesn't sound
Is it a
good.
bad idea?
Not at
It's
all.
not. By the way, the voice of this entity is extremely distracting because with every single word, it changes, and it always sounds like 5 people speaking in unison, but it's always a different 5 people. So this whole monologue has been delivered in this kind of overwhelming chorus. In addition to the gloves and the stocking, the individual is wearing, let me see, blue jeans, a plain white t-shirt, a blue ball cap with no logo, and low top tennis shoes.
Okay, so what is
So-
it you want to do? Do you want this to collect this head and put it in the basement, or what's the
Oh,
deal?
I couldn't carry this. I mean, not without being a lot more selves than I've got here right now. Right. No, you should probably take it back to Ohio. That's where it belongs. And if it was there, I might be able to go there, visit it, and maybe kind of harvest the memories off it. That could be really useful to me because, you know, the old guy had like millions of years of experience at this job, and I've got 14. So, yeah, if you could take the head back to where it came from, that Mountain Museum in Ohio, that would be a real solid for me, and possibly, by extension, the whole universe.
Hey, we're
All
part
right.
of that universe.
Yeah, let's do that.
So Klausene leans over to Karen and says, "Mom, I want to go back to college."
I get you, girl. I get you. So you kind of want us to do what we were going to do anyway.
Oh, great. Terrific. Can I pause you for 1 second?
Certainly.
And he pantomimes picking up a rifle and clearing the bolt and loading it, and then raises and aims, pulls the imaginary trigger, and out at the end there's this flash of fire and the sound of a rifle retort. It's like, don't worry about it. The rifle and the bullet are in India where they're supposed to be.
I mean, really, like I could enroll I could take community courses right now.
Well, gosh, if I'm just, putting down grease where there's already oil, that's great. Here, Karen, and he pulls the blue ball cap off and says, when you get to Ohio and get it back in, put this on it so that it'll think it's me, okay? And here, pulls out a matchbook from a does someone have a pen? Does one of you have a pen? Thanks, yo. Here you go. Hands over to Jesse a matchbook, It's got 5 matches in it. It's from some bar in Florida called the Bonton. And written inside is just the human eternal. There's no phone number, address, internet code or anything. And this entity just is like, okay, wow, you guys are being real champs about this. I appreciate it a ton. I should go. There's some stuff happening. We got a real Mandela effect problem in South and Central America, but yeah, keep on keeping on. Oh, and I almost forgot. Watch out for Joy. And then suddenly the day is bright again and the cars are zooming by.
Mom, are we really going to do a solid for God's groundskeeper?
Looks like we are.
We were going to do it anyway.
All right. And so that was the quick first scene.
That's awesome.
And now we switcheroo to your new characters. So, y'all did not get the head in this version of events. So, what is the crew, which is the 5 of you plus Chirp and this guy from Canada named Roger Crown that none of you know real well, but about whom Dirk has strong opinions.
That guy.
So are we picking up in the parking lot essentially of the museum where they fled, after they fled or something, or where are we?
I would say you guys are probably back in the U.S. Maybe you're getting ready to cross the border in Detroit.
Okay.
And
just to clarify, Greg, are we all a sleeper cabal intent on keeping weird shit under the carpet?
Well, as far as Kelly knows, yes, and yet this guy Roger doesn't seem to know any stuff you would expect even a very inexperienced sleeper to know. And Dirk and Volpo have seemed extremely fired up about getting the head back to Ohio by hook or by...
We've lost Greg.
So they seem to be kind of outside the sleeper mission. Am I breaking up?
We lost you just for a second, but you're right back.
Okay. Oh, and I got a private message here. All right. There. So yeah, what are y'all doing? You're probably stopped for lunch at not even a Tim Hortons, at a dingy rundown McDonald's. They're trying to be one of the nice McDonald's, but this economy in 2017, y'all. So there you are, hanging out. How is the group thinking, feeling, behaving, dealing with their defeat?
Dirk is raging. He's slamming things around. He's berated the girl behind the counter when she got his order wrong. It came with pickles. He doesn't like pickles. He made sure that she knew it. He made sure that her manager knew it. So he's just been generally not a pleasant person to be around.
And yeah, Chirp is like, oh, honey, don't make a big deal out of it.
Shut up.
Just trying to... Okay.
Threaten her a little bit.
She slinks back. All right. What about Mara?
So Mara's kind of quiet at the moment. She's been going through some of her herbal remedies in her kit, but mostly she's just trying to think about her connections to some other people and how this might still play out. So she just suddenly kind of blurts out, "We should go to Ohio."
Nobody has ever said that.
What's in Ohio?
So
Yes,
Volpo's,
plenty of people have said that.
Volpo's looking around like this whole scene is a little bit beneath him. and sort of like he's reticent to touch any of the surfaces here, and is vaguely and indistinctly disappointed by the coffee offerings. After ordering a Cobb salad, he's like, yeah, we're gonna head to Ohio, no doubt. This isn't done.
Exactly. It's just someone else is doing the heavy lifting for us right now.
You got it. It's all gonna come back. Just wait.
Do you think they're gonna go to Ohio? Says Roger Crown, when they've got, all of Canada and most of the United States that they could go to instead?
Mara, you were buddy with this group, or some of them, weren't you? Didn't you say something about them talking about bringing it back to Ohio before? That was the whole idea, right?
I know at least one person in the group is invested to bring it back to Ohio. And he can be convincing. I think there's nowhere in Canada that's as important to them as getting to the States.
Which one was that, dear? Says Chirp, kind of fluttering up and putting a hand on your bicep.
I give her a look and kind of take my arm from her and say, it was the doctor.
Oh, right. Well, he seemed nice.
He sees what we do through a different lens. But sometimes he still sees the same point we do.
All right. Well, I mean, if that's how it's, and she kind of glances at Man Steel for like guidance.
I want to know a little bit more about what's going on here before we agree to go to Ohio, of all places.
Well, Mara, do you have any contact information for any of these? Can you lean on any of them? Or at least get in touch? Maybe we can trace a call.
I could, but I'd have to have a really good reason to reach out to him.
I might be able to track some of them down, get their social media, internet. I think a few of them were dumb enough to give us their real names.
Oh, they were.
Yeah, I can make a call.
All right, if you sent people up there, yeah, just right. Didn't you sort of? I guess I don't know if I know my character would know that, but
No, your character's pretty well in the dark.
yeah,
but he pretends.
I thought that was that other guy.
Right.
Him too.
However, before we go any further, Dirk, what's the deal with this other +1 that you've got? Looking at Roger Crown.
And Roger's like, I can speak for myself. Oh, is this
but
the
nobody
male
wants
or
to
the female
Roger.
Kelly?
Female Kelly.
I can speak for myself, ma'am. And he looks over at Chirp and Mansteel and is like, close friend, and I'm in with this whole sleeper thing of suppressing outbreaks of the unnatural. He seems uncomfortable saying it.
Are we standing in line to
No, I think you've got your burgers and fries and have got a table by the the play area.
Sure. Got it. Okay.
Yeah, a booth or something. Yeah.
So as he says that, some little kid slams into the glass.
I slam right back against the glass.
So I'm fluffing out a napkin and putting it on the plastic tabletop to put my my Cobb salad on or whatever, and wrapping it carefully and wiping off the fork.
It's called the McCobb salad here, actually. So.
Isn't it?
If I reach out and call one of them, one of you guys think you can trace the call?
I can give it a go.
All right. What do we need?
not really your deal. You could try it with like a minus 10%.
Yeah, I wasn't quite sure what computer stuff meant. I assumed it was internet hacking.
Not like Kim's, but you know, you're better than the typical schmuck, but you're not at Kim's. You were not trained in oppositional computer operations.
Okay. Well, if you've got a phone number, we can start by Googling it.
We don't need to trace the phone if they're just going to tell Mara where they are. Call them, check in, play on their heartstrings.
Tell them you are coerced or that you've ditched us or any story that'll work.
One
Or
question.
that-
What's
them
the
coming
darkness
for it.
eating, by the way?
Just black coffee.
Okay.
I'll excuse myself up from the table then, and I'm not calling Dr. Angel. I'm going to actually call Jesse.
Hello,
Jesse,
Mara.
did your little group make it through okay?
For the most part, you know, it's a little shook. Things kind of were touch and go there, but you know, nobody's in jail. Any of your guys get popped?
No one got popped, but some are a little ruffled. I know you fulfilled your debt to me, but I'm really wanting to see this thing at the goal line. Are you still going to Ohio?
Give me a lie roll to conceal your ulterior motives in asking this, Mara.
Will do. Oh boy, this is going to be interesting.
This thing
I
needs.
got
Excuse me.
Oh yeah.
I got a 32 out of 30, but I don't see anything that can flip that roll for me.
Okay, so you sound a little stressed, and you think Jesse, who is a pretty canny customer, picks up on it. And Jesse says, "Well, what do you think we should do? What's your advice?"
I think we might be plugging in the first nuclear bomb of the occult nature,
Well, shit.
and I don't know what that looks like. That's why I would like to meet you guys and help you. I know you, I know the doctor, I know Kim.
Where are you right now?
Just a little south of Detroit.
Okay, yeah, we came through there earlier today. So let's find a town. You know Ann Arbor?
Google does.
All right. There's a place I know in Ann Arbor that's it's pretty great. They do this kind of they call it the Magic Mountain. It's like chili on top of Texas toast and French fries with cheese. It's really good. I mean, you can't eat one every day, but they're good.
Between carnival food and stuff like that, how are you still alive?
I get a lot of exercise.
So the Magic Mountain is it's treats in Ann Arbor.
Yeah, and that's the same. It's the same as the name of the restaurant is the Magic Mountain. Yeah. It's a little tacky, but man, the food makes up for it. They use like real cheese. So why don't we? Can you get there in like 2 hours? I know you'll have to backtrack a little.
I'll switch my phone real quick and see if that's possible distance-wise.
Yeah, you can settle on a time. Give me a notice roll, by the way.
Sure. Got a 40 out of 40.
Ooh, okay. So You notice two things. One is that Jesse sounds a little off, like just a little flat or false. And two is that Volpo is over by the corner, not leaning out, but you can see the tips of his shoes sticking out past the brick, and you're like, that son of a bitch is eavesdropping on me. So yeah, you make this date with Jesse, and he's like, I'll see you there. And hangs up.
All right.
What do you go tell the group?
I think they're trying to buy some time. He wanted me to backtrack to Ann Arbor, meet at some place called the Magic Mountain, but his voice sounded really weird on the phone.
You think
Get any background noise or anything else? Were they out on the move?
I'll think back to it. Did he sound like he was in a car?
Oh yeah, he sounded like he was in a car.
I share that. I think he's got an interesting background, something he's very hard to read. Ann Arbor could be a delaying tactic to make sure they have enough time to get to Ohio, or he could be the stand-up guy I typically know, and that's exactly where he is.
You know where in Ohio he'd be going to if he wasn't going to Ann Arbor?
I don't.
Do you know where? Don't some of them live in Ohio?
Well, and you guys know that where the head originally came from has been remade into the Ohio Mound Museum and Heritage Site.
And what do we know about the head, or what do we think we know about the head?
What you, Kelly, know about the head is less than what everyone else thinks they know. Volpo believes that this is going to put him in contact with the Comte de Saint-Germain, who will come down, who has been wrongfully robbed of his power and needs to be restored so that he can come down, smite the New World Order, and restore the world to the way it should be.
Damn straight.
It's your Ark of the Covenant, then.
Kinda.
It's a radio to God.
It's a radio for talking to God, or for this guy who does part-time work for God on weekends under the table.
That's right.
You know the kind of shady shit he can't have Jesus associated with.
Exactly right. Yeah.
That seems to be, that's what Volpo thinks, and Mansteel just knows, doesn't even know that much. The darkness, you got vibes off that thing, and
that it's gonna break the samsara cycle and like disrupt like the Mandelbrot set and like confuse and wreck.
It's just basically a whole lot of energy, and you're happier with energy being contained rather than all over the place. You've seen a lot of bad stuff go down when energies, especially occult energies, are just fire hosing all over the place.
So Mara,
what is the group? What are your plans for the head? I mean, are you going to discuss, well, once we get it back, we're going to...
But the whole purpose of this is to keep things from happening and keep people knowing that this sort of thing exists. We need to get the head away, as far away from Ohio as possible, right?
Well, we certainly need to get out of the hands of these yahoos. They don't know what to do with it. They don't know how to control it. And they're going to make a big-ass mess. It's going to draw a lot of attention.
It does depend what they're doing with it. If they're just going to go bury it somewhere, fine. But I think they're going to play with it.
Right.
So, Mara, do you know if any of these have any loved ones we can lean on? Some leverage? What would make Jesse talk?
Or make Jesse talk? Money, maybe, but he's an ex-carny. He is not the one to lean on. In fact, I don't really know a lot about the personal lives of any of them, except I helped one with a medical condition, and well, they're fine now because
What
I
was
just made
that?
things work.
Was that the soldiery one? Chirp asks. The one who, the one who had the van?
It was. He had a bit
He
of an
seemed
addiction
nice.
He is, and that's a bit of the problem. Like, essentially, these are pretty good people. Us being opposed against them.
Doesn't matter what kind of people they are. They're idiots who are playing with matches around a loaded cart of dynamite. They're
Philip,
gonna
are
blow
you
themselves
saying
up
you
and a
know?
whole lot of other people.
Are you saying you know what this thing does if you reattach it?
Trust me, I know.
Dirk will be right back. He's running into the bathroom.
I look at the darkness. What do you think?
It needs to be isolated.
Wait, so you don't want to take it to Ohio? I thought that was the whole point. To put it back where it came from, where it was safe for thousands of years.
Yeah, but safe where everyone knows where it is isn't safe. Safe, hidden away.
Well, where do you think we should put it then?
Bury it, I guess.
Like in New Mexico, we could take it back to New Mexico and bury it in the desert.
Why New Mexico?
That's
Because
where
it's
we
not
live.
Ohio?
Yeah, it's not Ohio. It's far from Ohio. It's where we live, so we'd be able to check on it or keep an eye on it. I don't know.
Feels a little bit cart before the horse. Why don't we go get this thing away from these idiots first? Then we can worry about what we do with it.
And Roger kind of cracks his knuckles, says, yeah, sounds like a good idea to me. How's Dirk moving when he comes back from the bathroom?
Yeah, just gonna say Dirk will limp back from the bathroom here. Looks as though he's in some discomfort. Shakes it off. He says, trouble back there at that museum. I'm still moving a little slower than I like to right now.
I'll give you a back rub later, honey.
All right, maybe.
I
guess,
just worry
can we also
about you
figure out
so much.
Not
It's just a question off the top of my head. Putting this thing back in Ohio realigns everything, right? So when it got decapitated, the world ended, whatever. What if symbolically there is a place we could put the head that would be the exact opposite of realigning it? What would that look like?
All right, give me a roll on your barrow. Let's see, what are your identities? You've got your barrow, and then you've got you've got like dark side your barrow, right?
Yep, sure do.
Yeah, dark side your
What
barrow.
do I know about Mara? Like, what is this? Or do we know anything about this barrel? Because I'm not catching that. No.
Oh, your barrow is a herbal root doctor in the sort of Southwest tradition or Mexican tradition.
I could
It's
not
from-
get my background to light up, but this is what I look like.
Probably
got
a little older, but yeah. Did you
Okay.
make it?
Yeah, I got a 33.
All right, so it's a matched success.
It is.
So what you would need to do would be to find a place that is aggressively modern and future-oriented, like Silicon Valley or a Google
Corporate office.
campus or somewhere that instead of being revered, it will be crassly commodified. Or alternately, somewhere that instead of being intensely about history and a connection with a real past, somewhere that is deliberately fraudulent and imaginary and is tied to a false present.
Tell it to some nerd gamers. They're into that sort of thing. They
I've got
probably
a perfect
construct a
place.
whole game around it, some magic game or something.
Is there a Detroit Disneyland?
Well, Ohio has Cedar Point, which is a pretty good amusement park with a lot of good roller coasters. If you're brave enough to go on them, that is.
They make my stomach feel all whoopsie. Chirp
Don't worry,
says.
baby.
Okay, but I think
I'll share that with
Step-
everybody. What I thought I like, if we took it to a place that just pissed all over the idea of what it was, something that favored tech over history, or someplace fake and plastic like Disney World or DC, someplace full of lies.
DC's got a strong historical vibe. You want somewhere that wants to be the city of tomorrow. So maybe LA, Hollywood, if you could get it on like the Universal Studios lot, that would probably suck out a lot of its energy, you suspect. But
Look,
first,
we gotta
y'all
get it.
gotta get it.
Yeah, step one, get it.
Yeah.
So
The cards on the table, I can't smell them from out here, so I don't know how much good my special build is going to be. Darkness, do you have a move here?
I think we should get to Ohio and get the drop on them there.
I like that plan.
Volpo brings up a good point, though. Can we just figure out what we're all bringing to the table here? Any particular capabilities?
I mean, besides
for example,
good looks?
2 tickets to the gun show right here, Kelly.
What's that?
Roger kind of looks over and raises an eyebrow. He's like, I was in the military.
Wait, the Canadian military? To be clear.
He looks like he's not super pleased about that. He's like, buddy, you have been riding my jock since we met. You got a problem with the Canadian military?
Let's
go outside right now.
If that's what you feel like you need to do to prove something, that's fine by me. After you.
He goes on out, and he is like loosening his shoulders and cracking his neck.
All right. Well, we don't necessarily need to roll that out. I'll leave that to you, Greg. But yeah, work is all in.
Well, how hard are you gonna go?
So Volpo is unseemingly intrigued by this display.
I will definitely take my licks as best I am able to.
Okay, so by the time the police show up, Volpo is on his back.
Oh, wait. Volpo?
Oh, not Volpo. Mansteel is on his back. Roger is in the full straddle and, holding his one hand on his throat, one fist upraised, and Mansteel's bleeding out of his nose and is just like, come on, give me another. Is that the best Canada has to offer?
Always get your man, eh?
So the cops kind of show up, and you guys lose a little time with the police saying, explaining, no, we're okay now. They're brothers. And it's Chirp who cools out the situation and spins this elaborate tale about how you were all together for a funeral and the brothers are estranged, and they're under so much stress. She bursts into tears, and the cops ultimately are just like, all right, sorry about your loss. Don't fist fight in the McDonald's parking lot. That's not how you deal with grief. And on your way you go. Is someone gonna call ahead and find a hotel reservation? Because you're not going to be able to get all the way to Ohio tonight. It would.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So what would be halfway between Detroit and somewhere in Ohio would put you in what, like mid Illinois, really? Yeah, there's something going on at Chicago. It's the boat show or some damn thing. So hotel rooms are either ridiculously overpriced or just not available at all.
I think we're going way out of our way if we're going from Detroit to Chicago to get to Ohio. But
well, let's see. What's halfway between then? What's the quickest route?
I mean, from Detroit, Ohio's just south.
So due south. What's halfway?
What? That depends on where we're going, I guess.
I mean, Toledo?
Toledo? That'd be right.
Toledo's right at the border.
All right. So yeah, you're trying for Toledo, but you're gonna settle for some small town like 20 miles out from the outskirts of Toledo.
All right.
And it's
Lambertville.
What?
Lambertville.
Okay, yeah. And you're going to stay at a hotel called the Lambertville Arms. Looks great on, the tiny screen of your phone as you're making the... It looks a little more Bates Motel when you pull up. It's run down. And you're like, oh, I bet those photos are about 10 years old and have been through some filters.
Kelly, I told you A, B, and B. Why did you pick this ridiculous place?
It had 3 stars and it was cheap. But I think they lied.
Really? Really?
Yeah.
You think they lied?
Anyway,
you guys are
we're
pulling
not
in
here
around
long.
sunset. You've been on the road all day. You're cranky. You failed to stop a heist. And at least, one of you keeps putting Bactine on his badly damaged fist, and the other of you is Man Steel, who's been in the car with Chirp all day, feeling great. You two just had a real long talk, really bared your feelings. You feel that you're closer than ever as a couple now.
So I slam the door of my BMW and then just march into that place carrying a tiny little suitcase, little carry-on or whatever, high end, and go right up to the front desk.
All right. There is this grizzled old man. He's kind of unshaven with red and black and white beard stubble. And behind him on the wall is this giant mounted moose head. Can I help you, sir?
I like the moose.
What's the moose
best room that you have here?
Oh, well, that would be cabin number 2, sir.
I'll take that one.
You look like a man of quality, so I suppose that'll be all right.
What are we talking about damages?
That'll be a full $80, I'm afraid.
I slide my Diner Club card across and says, worth every penny.
You have no idea, sir.
I let the rest of the crew get their own accommodations.
Yeah, they get rooms 3, 4, and 5. Well, let's see, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Is everyone getting their own room?
I mean, I imagine I'll be with Chirp.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. She just doesn't want to let you out of her sight.
I would throw the idea to
Likewise.
I should probably have someone in the room to keep an eye on Fun Bun.
Oh, so you and You and Mara are gonna share up. All right. So 4 rooms. Oh, Roger's got his own room too. He's not a big. He doesn't have that sharing vibe. All right. So Volpo, Mara, and Kelly, roll me a d10 and tell me whose result is lowest.
I have a 7.
I have a 9.
4. So it's Mara. All right. So Kelly and Mara are getting into their bedroom. Or getting into the room. It's a small cabin. It's got that sort of timeless, shoddy roadside hotel decor and ambiance. So the two of you come in, and then the closet door opens, and a 7-foot, no kidding, 7-foot tall man, he's skinny, his shoulders are narrower than Kelly's, lurches out, and he has no eyes.
Who the hell are you?
He's dressed all in mint green surgical clothes, mask, cap, gloves, the little booties, and he holds up a scalpel. It's shaped like a barracuda, but it's made of surgical class steel, and you can see the light glinting off the edge as he comes closer to you. And you can hear this sound like
I say catch and throw him fun bun.
Okay.
I scream out for
Mara?
Roger.
You're screaming for Roger?
Yeah, scream out for Roger.
And he catches Fun Bun, and you see it, move a little. Even though it's brighter now than it should be for it to be active.
Oh, okay. I thought we were late.
And then someone else comes. Well, you've got lights on.
Oh, right. Sorry. I thought it was night. Sorry.
And then out of the closet, the same small closet, comes this 5-foot tall but very exaggerated hourglass figure woman in the same green surgical stuff, no eyes, mask, teetering on 5-inch high heels, and pulling behind her what is clearly a disembodied pair of human lungs with a keyboard like an accordion attached to it. And that's what's making the
Right, get out of here, Mara.
Yeah.
I'll
Is
rush to the...
in any of the adjoining cabins, is anyone close enough to hear the Mara's scream?
Oh yeah, you all hear it.
I'll come out.
Greg, I'll rush to the door after Mara, and I'll flick the lights off and slam the door shut.
Okay.
What's going on?
We've got freaks in the closet.
I mean, what? What does that mean? Bed bugs? What?
Eyeless doctors and their pet nurses.
What crazy crap are you? Is this those other people? Did you tell them we were going to be here, Mara? Roger says.
So I'm shrugging out of my jacket. Door, the root of my door is still open. I throw it inside. And I begin tugging off my shirt.
Okay. Roger's like, okay, I'll get rid of him. And he reaches back and pulls out. It's not a very big knife, but it's only, got about a 4-inch blade. But the way he holds it, it looks kind of menacing. And he opens the door, and inside you see the doctor with the scalpel is now only 4'4". And there's a third one. And this one is this fat, squat one. And you can see that they have Fun Bun on the bed. And there's a tube from the lungs and the curvy one and the fat one are operating the lungs and holding what is clearly a human mouth, complete with lipstick, on Fun Bun's face, while the surgeon and Roger's like, what am I seeing? And he
Something
turns
was
to you and he's
wrong.
like, what am I seeing? What am I seeing? What am I seeing?
Calm down, Roger. Just
What am I seeing?
So I'm just gonna lean around the edge as he's screaming. I'm leaning around the edge so I can peer in the room and see this too.
Yeah. Are you naked yet?
No, I'm like, you know, halfway there, and just and this is the part which I decide, and I'm like, why don't we just get back on the road?
And you see as it makes an incision, you don't know why Kelly always carried this ratty purple stuffed rabbit around with her, but they are operating on it, and when they cut it open, it bleeds.
At this point, Dirk's got himself extricated from the room and is shirtless out in the outside of this whole thing. Just to let you know.
Wait, I'm sorry. What was Dirk doing?
He just got extricated from what he was involved in the room and is now outside the door.
Okay. Yeah. As you watch, there's this little stuffy bunny, and he reaches and his hand goes. Comes out covered in blood, pulling out just rope. It's like a magician's trick. He's pulling out ropes of guts out of this stuffed animal.
Kelly, do you need that thing?
well, it's a bit love-hate. Okay, Roger, get the hell back. You maniacs, what on earth are you doing? Who are you?
And they just turn at you, and they're, eyeless, but now drawn on their masks are little cartoon mouths, and it's just a straight line and little corners. And they look at you with their, they turn their faces, their horrible blank mannequin faces to you, and then they turn it back to Fun Bun.
So the darkness comes out of his room and it's like, what's going on? What do you guys?
Something in that room, darkness.
Yeah, have you looked, Dirk? Or having seen how it affected Roger,
the people's reactions are keeping me at bay here. But I think I will go back to my room and get my gun.
Okay. And Chirp is like, what's going on in there? Isn't that your room? Aren't you supposed to? Roger, what's wrong, Roger?
Roger, just get out of here. Get out of here, Roger. Roger, come on.
Roger quietly went to his car. Oh, wait, he doesn't have his own car, does he? He went to his room, closed the door, locked the door.
So I'm going back into my room. I unzip that little bag and pull out a wolfskin and drop trowel. I wrap it on myself.
You didn't have that on you at all times?
I mean, I don't know. I don't know how easy it is to carry about. I don't know how big this thing is, but
it's a pretty small wolfskin. You can carry it like wrapped around your waist under your shirt. So
then I drop trowel, and I'm going to go retrieve Fun Bun.
Okay.
As my first goal.
As you open the door, there is someone in surgical clothes standing there, and this one.
Oh, I thought the door was still open, but that's fine.
It closed. And this one is this blocky, muscular guy. No eyes, green surgical stuff.
I'm going for his hamstring.
Okay.
I want to take out his Achilles tendon or leg or whatever, bring him to the ground.
All right. Roll your stuff.
So this is substituting for struggle. Unfortunately, I roll a 82 out of 60.
But you can flip-flop it, right?
Oh, that's right. So 28. So I make it.
Okay.
So I latch onto his calf and just jerk his, like with my teeth essentially, and like maybe hands, and just jerk his legs out from underneath him and just tear through the flesh if I can.
All
To be
right.
clear, is
yes,
Volpo a
and you
wolf
can
now?
feel it, and it is you. But he doesn't taste right. He tastes like it's like if you went into a hospital and you know those oxygen nozzles that they have over your bed. If you went and like licked up in there while it was running, he tastes like ozone and antiseptic. And also, he's jammed something into your shoulder.
Ah, great.
So
I'm
what
not really
was your
gonna-
roll again?
It's 28 out of 60.
Okay. All right. And that's when you feel hands on your ankles pulling you back.
Are they friendly hands or are they pulling me into the room?
They're pulling you back into your room.
I'm having trouble visualizing this. I thought I was entering the room that Mara.
Oh, I thought you went into your room to put your clothes away.
Oh, no. I was just, yeah, sorry.
Okay. All right, we got to retcon this.
No, that's totally fine.
You
No,
tried to go into Mara's room and somehow wound up in your room.
It's awesome. That's great. So, so I'm being pulled back into my room essentially.
Yeah,
like
space
five
does
more of
not
these-
seem to behave itself around these entities. This is like what's got your feet looks like a skinny little old woman, but like 6'5". Like a giant, tiny old woman.
Huh.
Do I see? So to be clear, have we seen Volpo do this before? Is this?
Well, get naked and wolf out. Yeah, you have.
Okay,
It's a
all right.
weird-ass
Just
thing.
making sure that wasn't.
But
so
you
if
have
something-
never seen. So do you go look in his room when you?
If I see Volpo in trouble, then and I'm used to him doing this, then I'm going to step around the corner and just bring the gun to bear. Because anything that
Okay,
mess with
give
that-
me an unnatural check.
Yes.
Because you are just now realizing that what you thought was magic was just mescaline hallucination.
Yep.
These David Lynchian entities changing scale before your very eyes. And one of them has stuck a knife in his shoulder that is shaped, it's clearly made of metal, but it's shaped like a perfect profile of Ingrid Bergman.
Well, I rolled a 94, so that's not so great. But harm to my friends here is my rage stimulus. So
Volpo really your friend?
well,
Close enough.
I mean, I have him listed as my mentor here.
Okay. So yeah, you're like, no, Volpo. I can't let them take down Volpo.
But I'm not sure that 49 even helps me. So
You re-rolled it, or you flip-flopped it?
yeah.
With a passion, you could re-roll it.
Oh, I can re-roll it completely. Then that's
Yup.
right. I will do that. Yes.
Keep
in
it
that
together.
case, that gives me a 30, which would be underneath my macho asshole roll.
Oh, you can't use macho asshole to sustain your sanity. What you need is, let me find it. Knowledge.
Oh, I'm sorry. Right. Well, either 30 is under my 35 then, so solid.
Cool. All right. So give yourself a hard notch in the unnatural. And yeah, next round, you will be able to shoot your shiny gun at the anesthetist. Oh, wait, no, the surgical assistant and the OR nurse. And at this point, you see one more. Mara, where do you have 618835? Still in the
Probably-
car or in the room?
No, I hadn't had a chance to get in the room yet, so it probably would be on me as we were going to the cabin.
All right. So
Probably like
two-
a satchel over my left shoulder.
an extremely ice cold hand descends on your shoulder and starts tugging at the strap. And when you turn around, there is it's another one, but this one's in white scrubs instead of green, and they are extremely tight, like they were sewn into these, and it is tugging at the strap on your satchel. Darkness, you see this thing. Give me, what's your occult identity is?
I believe it's the nyctopically attuned. It's
Nyctopically attuned. Give me a
yeah.
nyctopically attuned roll.
All right.
Because you're a good stalwart sleeper. You might
got
have
a-
heard of these guys.
I got an +9 to recognize the surgical teams.
Yeah. So you'd heard stories that there were these weird, and the thing about them changing size and appearing from nowhere and dismantling occult objects. And you thought, that's bullshit. That's too pat. There can't be. The universe does not clean up its messes quite so tidily, thank you. But apparently, the universe does.
Okay, so is the performance flute a occult item, or is it just a regular, like
It's
a
a regular
nice
little
flute?
flute. You could do it
All
with
right.
any flute.
Okay, cool. Just checking.
And it's, it's dark, sun's down. You could
Yeah,
call
then I'm
them
gonna
and
try
they
and
come.
whistle up some tenebra and see.
Okay. So darkness, the darkness in the most pragmatic action imaginable starts playing the flute. Volpo, you're trying to
I tear out the throat of the nurse or whatever. I'm ignoring what I've been stabbed with and just trying to savage.
trying to throw it out this dude. Kelly, what are you doing? You can see as you watch, they pull a gun out of Fun Bun and they come over and hand it to you.
Bang. I
It's
shoot
not
it.
loaded.
Right. Kosh.
Okay, so you're gonna hit the surgeon with this gun. All right. So you're rolling to play flute. You're rolling to throat the dude out. You're rolling to hit the guy with the gun. What's Mara doing?
So Mara is triggered, we'll say, at the moment, and she's scared to death of this thing touching her all of a sudden. So with a twist to try to get its hand off her shoulder, she's actually coming around with a right fist into its face.
Okay.
I got a 26 after flip-flopping.
Okay. Let me roll up a bunch of
under a
results
70.
for these monsters. One of them just rolled a 00. So I gotta think of the next just rolled a 99. Whoo boy, these dice are ice cold, baby. Oh, except for the one fighting Volpo.
Oh! I thought I paid that voodoo witch doctor to curse Greg's dice on my behalf.
Did you tip?
That might have been the problem. I paid him in cryptocurrency.
All right. So you. All right. Who rolls a success?
I do.
Am I still able to flip-flop my result using my obsession identity?
Oh yeah.
Okay, then I will.
You live for conflict. This is the hunt.
That's right.
They've threatened your pack.
I got a success, 48 out of 50.
Okay.
Kelly?
Is this struggle or is this monster stopping?
This would be struggle.
Then I fail.
Okay. Man steal.
05 on my firearms roll.
Wow. Okay. Not the best. Which one were you shooting at? The
one that was grabbing Volpo and pulling it back.
Okay,
in.
so the giant
the
orderly
giant
or whatever.
crone. Yeah. Or right,
Okay.
the crone. Yeah.
All right, yeah. And when you shoot her, she shrinks.
Did I hit her and she shrank? Or
You hit her and she shrank, and like dust flew out her back. Okay. Yeah. You normally would have missed the surgeon slugging him, but because he got a 00, he just walked right into it. And his forehead dents and you could see the the gun was covered with blood from coming out of Fun Bun's viscera, and so you've just dented the head like it was made out of styrofoam.
The fuck are these
So-
things?
You don't know. These do not make sense. They're not part of the reality that you're supposed to be in. Darkness, you can hear skittering in at the edges of the parking lot getting closer. Volpo, what'd you get?
I got a 17 out of 60, so I'm just trying to tear the throat out of this thing that I'm
Okay.
on top of. I brought him to the ground. Now I'm just using my advantage. I'm ignoring the knife in my back or whatever and just throating him.
Okay. And yeah, you're chewing, but it's like chewing rubber, like a tire, only like white and
Oh.
green.
Oh.
And he never pulled Ingrid Bergman out of your shoulder. He's just crowbarring that, working it like a joystick in an old style Pac-Man game. It hurts a lot.
All right, I'm gonna try to take the hand off if I can. That's grabbing onto that knife. I'll go to the
Okay.
wrist if I have to. That might be an easier
Oh my
target.
God, it all hurts so much. There's a lot of blood.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Um,
It's probably all mine. They don't seem to be bleeding.
Mara, yeah, that occurs to you and you're like, oh man, all this was in me. Okay, so Man-Steel opens fire. You shot the crone. We dealt with that. Mara, you ripped your purse out of this thing's grip. What are you doing? You back up and you're like waving your arms.
Well, I see that the darkness is doing the most. It seems like he must have a plan. Maybe he has an idea, or maybe they have an idea of what's going on here. So I go over to them, kind of throwing the satchel around my back so that both my arms are free, and just say to the darkness, do you know what this is?
Oh, yes. I suspect these are surgical teams. They're here to eradicate our unnatural items.
We
And
get off the property?
if this was a movie, it would cut from the darkness saying that to the crone's hand reaching for Volpo's magic wolf skin.
That's not cool, man. That's not cool.
So yeah, the crone is let's see. The
I
crone
thought she
is
was
going
shot. Didn't you say she shrunk?
Yeah, and now she's like clambered up your body like a monkey.
Oh, that's
And
much
has
harder to shoot.
entered
That's not cool.
has entered a grapple with you. So
Not the
let's
grapple
see.
rule.
Everybody's
Oh.
favorite rule.
Doesn't succeed though. You're just like, no, bad monkey.
Can I batter? Like, I imagine she flies across the room, smacks into the medicine cabinet, and falls into the sink.
Not that far.
Oh, too
She's
bad.
small, but she still
Oh.
weighs as much as she ever did. And they seem maybe a little heavier than people, actually. All right. What are people doing? Kelly, you can see in your room that the bombshell and the fat one are like messing around with the lungs, and they're completely silent, but the mouths on their masks are now frowny faces, and the doctor's is a snarl with jaggedy pointy teeth.
It's all gone Doctor Who.
So yeah, the surgeon's gonna try and actually, will you stop the surgeon if he just walks past you?
Looking
Who
at
are you asking?
the situation, do I think the lungs are kind of central to their plan? Sorry,
You have literally no relevant knowledge that would permit you to guess.
no,
The two of them are fooling with him, and people are getting stabbed and screaming, and the two of them are like, let's get the lung device fixed. So
Okay.
maybe
Did you say the there's tubes coming out of the lungs. Into
There is a tube. It looks like an esophagus.
Trachea.
Okay. I look around desperately in the hotel room for a weapon. Like,
You've still got your blunt object that you ducked the surgeon with. That seemed to work pretty well.
yeah, I'm thinking fire axe. Is there a fire axe in the corridor behind me?
These are cabins. It's not.
Oh, okay, sorry.
Yeah.
Corridors.
Nope. There's a picture frame. There's a coffee maker. There's a lamp.
You got a gun.
Yeah, you hear that going off next door.
Fuck it. Okay, I shall take a running. I'll let the surgeon slip past me, and I shall take a running dive and try and knock over the lungs and damage them.
All right. So you're sacking the lungs. Okay. Let me see. The bad rolls continue. Surgeon doesn't have to move. He's just walking here. Let's see how the guy who is getting gnawed on. Ooh, he does not like being a chew toy.
Squeaker, 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 squeaker.
He's slowing down. Let's see. Crone not slowing down even a little bit.
Well, she just grappled Volpa. Do I get another shot at her?
Oh, I did roll for her, didn't I? So, never mind. All right. So what's going on? Man Steel, you're standing there by the door, firing into the room. What are you going to do as the surgeon tries to get past you into the room?
So the surgeon's coming from outside in?
So you've got, here's Kelly's room and here's Volpo's room.
Right.
Apparently they've completed their to-do list in Kelly's room, and now the surgeon's just going into Volpo's, holding his hands up like this.
Where is Volpo?
In my room, on
did you
top of
escape?
one of
Right by the door with, jujitsuing this one of the dudes, just clawing and chopping and stabbing, and there's blood everywhere.
All right, if he's still in it, I'll take a quick peek to make sure Chirp doesn't appear to be in any trouble, and I'll continue to fire away.
Chirp comes out, and Chirp's like, she just screams, just turns stark white and screams. Sorry, little chord problem there. Dramatic, huh?
It was. Okay, well, good. Then if she's screaming, she's okay.
Well, her lungs work at least. She's still breathing.
I'm going to just keep firing away then.
At the crone or at whom?
The surgeon is 7 feet tall. He's the huge guy?
He's normal sized.
Okay. Then I'm going to keep firing at the crone.
Okay. So the surgeon just kind of walks, just casually slips past you into the room. You fire at the crone. All right. Darkness, yeah, they are surrounding you just out of the circle of the light. And the guy all in white is now holding an object you've never seen before, but somehow deep in your heart, it's an axe handle, but it's a surgical axe handle. It's stainless steel with very precisely placed bent nails, and it's heading towards Volpo's room.
Okay. I see if I can intercept that guy.
Okay. You gonna send the Tenebrae after him?
Yeah. See if the Tenebrae can distract him. They're unnatural creatures, so maybe.
All right, so they're scuttling around him, and he's swinging his deal, right and left, but seems to know what they are because he immediately goes towards the light and gets in, right under the lights. There's a light in front of each cabin.
Right.
So he immediately makes for the light that's by, by Volpo's cabin. But
I
he's
try to
swinging to keep him
smash-
back. There seems to be some kind of impasse going there. By the way, Mansteel, you now see out of the corner of your eye something that looks like what the aliens from Alien see in their nightmares. They're these matte black lobster, crab, locust things from the night. Only they're the size of large dogs. Give me an unnatural roll.
Trial by fire here. All right. Let's see. Unnatural. Got it. That would be a 90.
Yeah, take
Yeah, I
that
don't-
fail.
Yeah, I think so.
How do you choose to respond to freaking out over I mean, the surgical team, David Lynchian as they are at least hominids.
Right.
These are like Cthulhu monsters from, a comic book, but real.
Right. That sure sounds like a flea reaction to me. Sorry guys. I'm going to run back to the room. If I can think clearly enough to grab Chirp, I will drag her in after me.
Chirp's way ahead of you. She's
Okay.
run into the room. All right. Give me a fitness roll.
Fitness. Here we go.
Yeah, you're buff.
I guess I can use, well,
Oh yeah, macho
Right.
asshole definitely subs for that.
okay.
Give me
In
that fitness roll. This is just to see if you get in the room before Chirp locks you out.
Okay. Well, if I could use macho asshole, then yeah, no problem. I got a 25 out of 40.
Yeah, you kind of shove her out of the way. You didn't even know she was there. You just yank that door open. There's something in the way. Boom! No, it's not in the way anymore. And then you're diving under the covers and pulling them over your head. And you hear the door close. And she's like, "What is going on?"
These are your friends, baby.
Awesome.
My
Dare
friends.
you
we
speak to
punch
me
the
that
Packers
way.
game.
So, Greg, my hand-to-hand in wolf form, my hand-to-hand attacks are like knife attacks, and I'm not making progress against this guy.
You're
Is it
making
obvious?
progress. He's got a hole the size of a Nerf football in his shoulder where you've been working at it. He doesn't express distress. He could be one bite away from switching off, but you don't know.
So
There's now more of them in here.
yeah, I'm like trying to I'm all slick with blood. I'm naked. I'm trying to back or slide out of his grasp, essentially.
Okay. So you're just avoiding.
Yeah, I'm moving out of the room and back toward where everyone else is. I'm probably not even aware of anything else that's happening because I've been so focused on trying to take this guy apart.
Okay. All right. So you're skating. You're using your own blood as a
Lubricant.
grease to help you pop out, and so you skitter out from under the injured surgical assistant, squirm out the door, and find yourself staring at these white surgical booties, and you look up at a faceless face, mouth in a jagged tooth snarl, hand clutching a steel club studded with nails, and the other hand is reaching down for your wolf skin.
So what I would like to do, based on just what the darkness said to me, I'm pulling the yam out of my pouch, and I'm going to try to help Volpole and say, "You want this shit so bad, choke on it," and just shove it into it.
All right, so you're attacking the guy with the thing
With a yam.
with the yam.
With the pot that the yam is in, I'm just slamming it into his back, trying to give Volpole some breathing room.
All right, he turns around and reaches out like he's expecting you to hand. And when he turns around, the line on the mask is now gone. The axe handle's gone, and he just reaches out for the pot.
I pause and look at him and say, "Can you kill the damn thing?" Screw it. Try it. And I give it to it.
All right. And as soon as they have Mara's yam, all of them cluster around. They ignore everyone, come around and start performing surgery on the yam. And at this point, the old guy you guys see the old guy from the office look out, and then he just like throws his hand up, goes back in the office, pulls down the shades, turns off the light, and a second later, you know, the big illuminated sign that says vacancy, the no in front of that flickers on.
3.5, Kelly? Really? That's what it said about this place?
I
1 star on Expedia now.
I try to reach around to grab the knife and pull it out of my back. If I
It's in your shoulder.
Oh, got it. Yeah, okay.
So yeah, it'll come out. You sure you want to do that?
Well, first aid is not actually something that I looks like I have.
Okay.
This would be a knowledge roll to know whether or not to apply compression or to leave a penetrating object in the wound.
Volpo, let me help you. Let me help you.
Mara
This
knows.
is- Yeah, I start digging into my supplies. First of all, going for some bandages before I take this knife out of him. And
Okay. Darkness and Kelly, what are the two of you doing?
I'm trying to like put out the lights. I'm gonna try and take out the lights over each of the cabins, like picking up rocks and throwing them. Unless the lights are close enough that I can like unscrew the bulb or something or smash it.
Okay, so you're gonna get which cabin are you going by? The
Uh,
surgeons are now in front of Volpo's cabin. They've put that somewhere a clean towel or a piece of paper or something has emerged. They have this yam. They took it out of its jar with forceps and have now spread it out and drawn a little line down the middle and made an incision, and out come. It's full of black ooze and worms and diodes and circuits and wires.
All right. Well, I'm going for Volpo's room first, and I'm going to try and take out the lights.
Okay. So as you do that, the one with the club has the club again and just kind of points it at you, and it's not got the full pointy tooth snarl, but just a frown. Because
I'm
still gonna try for the light?
Yeah, I'm still trying for the light.
Okay. It comes to clobber you.
All right. I guess I'll dodge it.
Yeah. It doesn't seem super, fast. So, yeah. You're like, yeah, they're operating. Mara, how do you feel about seeing the Love Annihilator eviscerated like this?
She has a huge smile on her face, and maybe Volpo's not her favorite person, but right now she is glad to be helping him. Like, she feels a little bit connected to who she was before she came across this damn thing, and she's ecstatic. She's smiling as she's working on this bloodied count in front of her.
All right, Kelly, what are you doing?
So I rolled a 16 on my smash the lungs thing. What occurred there?
Okay, so yeah, you run up on that and just tap. Oh, it feels so cold and yet so alive. And the two of them just kind of look at you, and it makes this sound like. And then they look at you, and they look at each other, and then they just walk out. What you doing with the lungs? Gonna just really go to town on this? Just total ape on the Samsonite, smash this thing to pieces?
Huh?
Yeah, I guess I throw it to the floor and put a stiletto heel through it.
Kelly didn't strike me as the stiletto heel type, but okay. Yeah, there are certainly implements of makeshift mayhem. You know, you can grab a heavy lamp and smush it up, or the coffee maker. I don't know. You could drag it into the bathroom and really smack it against the hard edge of the porcelain tub. That's probably your best blunt object option.
Sure.
Okay, so you're going to be in there wrecking that thing for a while.
But it doesn't seem to affect them. They're not going, I'm melting or anything. Like,
Well, they left you alone. They went out to the rest of the team, which is operating on the yam, and sort of the rest of you could see these other two come out, and it's like they lean into the doctor, and the doctor's like, holds up its hand, waves him back, is making an incision. The blocky, muscular one who's got all these bite marks in his unbleeding flesh, like sponges off the surgeon's forehead. And then they pull out the last diode and, kind of look relieved. And they take a little pause, and then they all single file start entering Volpo's room. I think you're muted.
Yeah.
I'm not inside my room. I thought because I had scampered out of that room.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
So where did you go for Mara to treat you?
Or I think I'm naked, covered in blood, and sitting on the asphalt, maybe like 15 feet back from where that surgery, or 20 feet back from where the surgery's happened, and Mara's like trying to do surgery. I assume. I didn't know that I went much further than that.
Yeah, Mara's not doing surgery. She's like, no, you got to leave that knife in for now.
What?
It's gonna bleed right now. It's the cork in the bottle. The bottle is you.
Now it's a stabbing pain.
Yeah, what are you telling him, Mara?
You don't know how much this hurts.
Well, a little pain means you're alive. I take the knife out, you die.
You can give him something. You can give him something to chew for the pain.
Yeah.
Whatever she gives me, I just eat it. I chew it, whatever. I don't question. I'll take anything.
What I gave you is you probably got some stuff for anxiety, and then some stuff I have for some bruises and cuts.
I got a whole bunch of all of those.
Yeah, you've got some natural painkillers that aren't gonna be as effective as like heroin, but they're better than nothing. And if nothing else, you are also
heroin.
Yeah, the strongest thing you can buy without a prescription. If nothing else,
It's a good line.
the fact, yeah, it's not original. I saw it on a t-shirt in the 70s. But if nothing else, having this consoling, calm woman here saying, I know what I'm doing. I know how to help you. You need to calm down and get it together. That's super helpful, actually. All right, so darkness, they seem distracted. You could get the light by Mara and Kelly's room pretty easily.
Okay, I'll do
The other
that.
two just walked right out of that and went over to contribute.
Yeah, I'll take out the lights that I can take out.
Okay, you can get one.
All right.
They are clustered by Volpo's room. And if you get near them, you can't quite see where that club comes from or where it goes. It seems to, when he has it, it seems natural that he always had it. And when he doesn't have it, it's like, was he actually, what would a surgical axe handle even be?
Right.
So yeah, you kind of go around them and get to the other side and unscrew that, and the things are skittering closer. Man-Steel is huddled up. Chirp is yelling at you to be a man, find out what's going on out there, but you are like, no.
Nope. Gun trained at the door. If anything comes through, it's probably not going to go well for them. So watch out, guys.
So yeah, seeing that you are actually this freaked out in your responses to her, she's like, "What's out there?
I will say black lobster monsters and doctors with no eyes and werewolves, but that's like the least of it.
All right. So yeah, the darkness has now there's just the light on Volpo's. There's patches of encroaching dimness on either side, and there's also the lights of the big metal street lamps in the parking lot, which you can't get to.
Right, yeah.
You know, they're pretty tamper resistant, but you've gotten some darkness created.
Yeah.
The things are skittering around, but the team is staying in the light. And then when they finish, they all turn around and they start walking single file towards Volpo. And they're all now 7 feet tall.
Yeah, I want to. I'm like, we gotta go. And I am about to run for my BMW, and I realize my keys are in my pants inside my hotel room.
Oh.
So you're trying to get to your feet.
Yes, I'm trying to stand up.
Oh,
Laura, what you doing?
I'm going to say to you, like, you're thinking run, right? I'm thinking run.
Yeah, or drive if I can get to my keys. Or do you have a car? Where's your car? Let's go to your car.
Let's go to my car. I
All
will
right.
put myself underneath your
Wait,
back
didn't you
shoulder.
drive with Kelly in her minivan?
I
So-
did.
Kelly, yeah, you hear bumping and thudding coming out of Kelly's room. You could run in there, try to get her keys, or you could run for the minivan, hoping they're there.
You hotwire a car, Mara?
Not so well.
I'm just
Like-
I'm continuing to back up as these things approach. You said they aren't terribly fast, so I'm just trying to. I'm trying to open up some space, get them away from
Okay.
my room.
I scream
All
out
right,
for
and
Kelly.
you see them. The first 3 stop, and the other 3 kind of come around, and they all turn and look at each other, and then they turn and start walking in 6 different directions.
Are they heading into the darkness?
They're heading towards your. Well, 3 of them are heading towards your room, and 3 of them are heading towards the minivan.
As long as they're not heading toward me, I'm just trying to keep like an eye on both groups if I can.
They walk around the minivan, and as they do, they're shrinking. Now they're little midgets. They're 5 feet tall.
Mara, what the hell was that thing you gave them?
Something being wrapped around my neck for years. The darkness said these things want mystical items. They probably want that thing you wrapped around your waist.
Where is he? Do I see the darkness?
Nope. He has faded. They have faded into the shadows. They do that all the time.
Like, this is completely out of my wheelhouse. I've never dealt with anything like this.
Completely out of your wheelhouse.
That thing was like chewing on a rubber tire. I didn't have any blood or bones inside. I can't even use my arm.
Where are you gonna go? Or are you just gonna sit on your ass naked in the parking lot till dawn?
I had climbed to my feet at this point in time, but I hope I'm capable of doing that.
Okay, Kelly, by this point you have reduced the lungs and the accordion lungs to very disgusting wreckage. You don't think you're going to use that tub?
Yeah, once it stops moving or breathing, I'm done. All right.
It smells like cigarettes.
Yeah. I'm going to make my way to the door, open it a crack, and just kind of try and figure out what the connection is, why they keep changing size.
Well, framed beautifully in the doorway, it's almost like the pietà is Mara tending to this knife in Volpo's shoulder and helping him to his feet. He looks like basic cable TV. There's a lot of blood there. Also, Starkers.
Mara, can you run in my room and grab my pants? My keys are in there. Okay, they're not there by the door right now. Come on, you can make it.
Okay.
I've got keys.
I bolt.
Well,
Okay,
I
so
don't
Kelly,
know.
you're coming out like what? Do you want to go somewhere?
Either one, I don't care.
I'm still getting his pants for reasons. But,
Pants seem like a great idea for just, there's layers to why we want pants.
I think,
We've not seen before.
Greg, at this point, if I've calmed down at all from that failed notch there, I will go ahead and stick my head out the window to at least see what's going on. I'll motion Chirp to stay back and stay safe.
It's pitch black. So, okay, I got to remember, hold on, let me check something. Yeah, so you know how when it's dark inside and light inside, or when it's dark outside and light inside, your window's a mirror? So all you see is your pale, horrified face until you get way up close and cup your hands like this. And then suddenly, it's one of the things. And it's like scrabbling at your window. And someone's taken the light bulb out from your window so it's dark outside like they like it.
Well, if that's the case, I start going around and turning on every light switch in the room.
Okay, and Chirp saw this too, and she's like, okay, yeah, new plan. We're just gonna stay here forever. We'll just order a room service and eat out of the mini fridge.
Phone light, like any source of light I could think.
Okay, yeah. So you're just making it blaze.
Yes.
All right. Yeah. Mara, you've got his pants. You can feel the keys jingling inside. Oh, the material on these is nice. You're running out there to him. Kelly's out there by him. Which vehicle are you guys going towards?
So I'll be.
Also, did you guys park near the lights or not near the lights?
Random die? I don't know.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah. Odds by the light, evens not so much. Okay, so yeah, Volpo's car, he parked it right under the light because he's like, man, this is real bums out here. They're gonna vandalize my car if it's in the dark. And Kelly didn't even think about it. So Kelly, your car's in the dark.
I am I'm saying, Mara, come on, let's go. And I'm trying to drag her toward my BMW.
Even though it's in the, it's because it's in the light. All right.
I'm completely on that. I take your keys out of your pants and put them into your probably stronger arm, the one that's not connected to the bloody shoulder.
I'm like
all right.
shaking with the after effects of adrenaline and blood loss at this point in time.
And Kelly, you going with them?
No, I'm going to go for my van.
For your darkness shrouded van? Okay. As you get there, you see something like skitter behind it. Something large and silent and a darker darkness against the dim. How do you feel about seeing something that looks like H.R. Geiger's model scuttling around your car?
That entirely depends on whether I've seen the darkness do this before.
Darkness, did you ever show this to Kelly before?
All the time.
Oh, so okay, so these are the darkness. They're darkness associated, but they're not like tame.
Well, I'm still safer in my driving seat than I am out here. So as soon as I see a gap, I'll rush in and slam the door behind me.
You can climb in through the passenger seat, get over to the front. All right. Y'all get close to the lit BMW, and you see the surgeon step out from in front of
Oh
it.
no! And I'm trying
And
to
then
get.
the voluptuous anesthetist from the back.
So they're sort of bracketing us on either side of the car.
They're on either the front and back of the car, and they're coming forward, and the surgeon reaches his hand out.
You trust me?
What kind of question is that?
Throw me your pelt.
No way.
Throw me your pelt. Keep away. We'll play keep away. We'll get in the car. We'll get out of here.
You gonna trust her? Now 2 more of them have come out.
All right. No, I don't really, but I don't really have a choice. So I tear it off, or I whatever, untie it hastily, and I don't want to go back to being what I was, but I throw it to her because I don't want to go back to being dead either.
All right, yeah. Mara, give me an athletics.
Got a 19 out of 50.
All that what? Girls Catholic school field hockey paid off. You just snatch it out of the air. They're now coming at you.
I unlock the car door.
Okay. Yeah, you're click, click.
Well, I mean, I open the door or whatever, and I I'm gesturing for I'm trying to get wide and gesture to throw it. Of course, I'm dragging an injured limb.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm letting them get a little bit of heat on me, and then I coil it up and throw it to him since he has the door open.
Okay. Give me a roll, Vopo.
I'm rolling what again?
Fitness.
Fitness. I make it 48 out of 55.
Okay. So you get it. You're in the passenger seat. You slam the door, hit the door lock. You look over, and there's the one with the axe handle is in the driver's seat.
Oh, son of a...
And he holds out his hand.
I'm gonna rip out that knife. I'm not dying like nothing. I'm not nothing. And because my fear is insignificant. And I don't want to go back to being terrible and small. And I tear out that knife and I just shove it into him, into his chest or into his face.
Okay. Yeah, give me a struggle roll.
03.
3. Okay. Yeah, you literally shove the knife into his face. And you can see some clear, thick liquid run down and start to slowly soak into his mask. And he is trying to jab you with the
axe handle?
with the axe handle, but it's not really well suited for close combat. So what was your result again?
03.
All right.
I'm trying to saw, I'm just jabbing again and again or sawing my way down through that face.
All right, roll again.
While blood is pouring out of the wound.
If I see this, I will go to the driver's side door and try to open it and pull this thing out of the car.
Door's locked, man.
Yeah.
But
Sorry.
yeah, he seems to be weakening and can't really get the end of the axe handle is impacting on the head.
I make
the nice leather headrest. What'd you get this time?
I make struggle right on 60.
Okay, so that's
actually it's because I substitute. It can be 6 in fact because I can flip flop it.
okay. So
well, that's only for Ulf Hednar. I don't know if I'm not in that form.
Oh no, you've got the skin. You're defending the skin.
All right. Then
so yeah, the other. Okay, give me one more. Ooh.
Just die, you stupid son of a bitch! Just die. 36. I make it again.
Okay, so that's all right. This time, he's finally gotten so that he can actually bring this to bear, and it just slams into your face. It hurts a lot.
Yeah, everything hurts a lot right now.
Yeah.
I don't think those magic herbs that I got earlier are really doing very much.
They're better than nothing. They're better than nothing. Let's see. So that is duh. Yeah.
If this is where Count Volpo bites it, well.
Okay, yeah. He clobbers you in the face. Mara, the
Yeah.
surgeon is there and just sort of gently wants to like tug you aside. Are you gonna go with him? The face is blank.
Yes, I want to actually go around to his side of the car now, hoping that that door is still unlocked.
And the surgeon opens the locked door, pulls out the axe handle's gone, pulls him out, and they all come up, line up. They're just, the surgeon has this bloody dent in his head. The ones who had the lung thing, they're fine, but the assistant, the muscular one, has this giant gnawed, raggedy hole in his shoulder. The crone's got this hole through her front, and the one they pull out of the car, man, his head is just flaps.
Oof.
And they all stand up and kind of compose themselves, and they all turn their masks towards Mara for a moment. And then they all make a right turn and they walk off into the darkness and they're gone.
Is Volpo dead?
No, he's unconscious. Well, let me do the math, because man, that dude did a number on you, but I think you survived. So let's yeah. Volpo is beyond your herbs, Mara. He needs a hospital like 40 minutes ago.
It's going to be in my nature to climb that car, though, grab those bloody keys off the floorboard or wherever he got the keys to, and my left hand, I'm firing up Google Maps on nearest hospital, and I'm just tearing out.
Okay, yeah, Kelly can probably find that for you on Google Maps. All right, so 3 of you tear ass on out of there.
3? I'm sorry.
Steele.
Who else is the vehicle?
What? It's the 3 of you.
Oh, Kelly's coming with us. I didn't realize.
Yeah. Mansteel and Chirp just keep vigil till dawn.
Yep.
Hyperventilating. The darkness, what do you do?
Oh, I rest in one of the rooms.
Okay. Go to your room, turn off all the lights, draw the blackouts, and are like, okay.
Yeah. Get a good night's sleep.
That was a lot of energy. Fuck that shit. I'm gonna meditate and go to sleep. All right. So that was the surgical team. Volpo kept his magic wolf skin. If he had not, it would have been. Let me see what happens to the wolf skin if you guys don't try, because it was pretty amusing. There was a Michigan state surveyor or something who was making a map of, who was in charge of the official map of Michigan. And in one of the bordering states, he put in some fake towns in the 70s, including the town of Beat OSU. Because OSU is the big football rival for Michigan. So yeah, if you hadn't stopped them, they would have sliced your hat into your wolfskin into strips and then rewoven it into a baseball cap for the Beat OSU Wolves. rendering it powerless. But okay. So last scene is we switch back to the original characters. So Jesse, Kim, and that gang. All right. So yeah, what have you been doing since your encounter with the human internal? You got the head. Where are you taking it? You just balling the jack for Ohio?
Were we headed to Ann Arbor, or was that a red herring?
That was a lie.
Yeah.
Jesse's like, this doesn't feel right. I'll just see if I can delay these chuckleheads.
Do we want to help this guy? I'm assuming I'm Karen because I was Karen before. But I know we all were.
Everyone was Karen.
I'm figuring I'll play closer name.
Okay. Do we want to help this whole situation? This head seems bad.
We need to go to Ohio. We gotta do what the human internal asked. That's what we signed up for.
Mom, he stopped time. I don't think it's a good idea for us to just like not do what he says. Like let's just get this thing off our hands.
I vote for Ohio too.
All right. I made the case to you before in our last game. Actually, I tried to get the group to not steal the head and just hurl it down the cliff and break it into 1,000 pieces. But it sounds like nobody's come around to that point of view, eh?
You could try and talk him into ruining the head.
Well, that's what I'm.
Hey, I will say that Mara is really freaked out about this head now. I mean, I don't necessarily trust her after the shit she pulled, but she is not cool with this thing.
Let's just listen. I mean, he told us to bring it to Ohio. Let's just bring it to Ohio. Let's just put it there, and then we don't have to worry about it anymore, and we can go back to not having crazy lives again, right?
So where are y'all having this conversation?
McDonald's?
Not even gonna go for a Stuckey's or a Denny's or a Waffle House?
I like Denny's.
Stuck in his Shoney's.
I like Denny's late at night.
Absolutely.
That's fair. I've spent many
Well,
hours.
it'd just be funny if it's the same McDonald's that the other crew.
No, because you guys are way ahead of them.
Yeah.
Oh,
Right.
okay.
It's always the golden arches.
Yeah.
So we stole this head for somebody that we don't trust. We're going to bring it back to the body for reasons that to me seem unclear at best and downright dangerous at worst. And somebody who came to stop time to tell us to do what we were already doing, who seems like quite possibly the most dangerous person of all, and who said that the person that this represents is even more dangerous than he is. Are we sure this is something we want to do?
We put it back to
Why
where
couldn't we have had this conversation before we got in this mess, Mom?
We did.
Really? Why?
We did. I'm revisiting the theorem here. Sorry. I know that.
This guy can stop time, sure, but can you notice that he doesn't seem to be able to put the head back himself?
Well, he had somebody chasing him, right? He had somebody named Joy chasing him.
Oh, yes. Watch out for Joy.
So, Kim.
Yeah, what's up?
There's someone standing at the counter of the McDonald's, and you can't stop looking at her left foot.
Huh. Is it like a club foot or something?
No. Oh, no, it's her calf. It's her left calf.
Okay, that's weird.
Yeah, it's fascinating. And you keep looking away, but then you're like, oh. And actually, as Karen, as you're, making your argument, you keep finding yourself distracted by this girl standing at the counter. She's got herself a shamrock shake. And there's something about her arm. And you can't see it right because she's holding the shake with her right hand, but it's her left arm.
How
And
is
so
she
that's
dressed?
Let me see what she is wearing. A plaid shirt, blue jeans, flip-flop sandals, and a plain blue baseball hat.
A pleasure. Okay. As unremarkable, as normcore as she can get there, it sounds like.
Well, and remember, the Eternal Human also was dressed in this very white
Blue.
T-shirt, jeans, unmarked baseball cap,
Yep.
and high top.
Yep. Low tops, actually.
Oh,
You've got the hat.
Oh, that's right. We were told to keep the hat for when. Is the hat a match? Is it a match to what this girl is wearing?
wait, I thought we had a book of matches with his name.
We have a book of matches and a hat.
Oh, and the hat. Okay.
You'd have to get closer to see if they're the same hat.
I don't think Karen would have to get closer to see if it's the same hat. Is that a fair
right,
statement?
Give me a roll with her seamstress identity.
23 or 32. No, white first. 23.
They're the same. They were manufactured at the same factory, certainly. You're not sure. You'd have to really go through the seams to
Fair
see
enough.
if they're the same batch, but it's exactly the same design.
Okay.
It is the most generic. It's a nice hat. The contraction band in the back is leather with like a little clamp. So high quality.
But not a
If
fitted
it's-
cap.
What?
But not a fitted baseball cap. It's an adjustable cap.
Yeah.
Anyway, there's some relationship to Mr. whatever his name was there.
Eternal Human?
Time Stopper.
So she turns and is kind of walking towards y'all.
Shh, stop staring, Mom. Stop being weird.
This brings me no joy, I say pointedly.
And she kind of looks at you and then kind of tugs the bill of the cap down a little bit. She's got her bangs pinned under the front of the cap so that her forehead's completely covered and it's pulled down a little low.
Can we help you? I mean, she's just hanging at the table.
She's just walking past
Oh, I
and she, goes off to she's got the satchel, goes off, grabs a table, opens her satchel, pulls out this huge, thick book and starts reading, drinking her shamrock shake.
Can we get back to this conversation about what we're going to do with the giant stone head, please? Instead of,
Karen.
like always studying someone else's like clothes.
You can see a little bit of ink on her wrist, a few letters peeking out from under the cuff of her shirt.
Like a tattoo or like Sharpie?
Like a tattoo. And she sees you looking and then she tugs it down.
Is that's the arm that had caught my attention earlier?
The one that seems like it will explain everything.
I lead into the group so she can't overhear us, and I say I'm 90% sure that this is the one that Mr. Time Stopper told us to watch out for.
Then let's get to the car before they like murder us or something. My guns are back there in the van.
And the head is back there too, I suppose.
Yeah.
I've got an idea. I light a match from one of the 5 matches.
Okay. And you hear a voice from the match saying, "Hello? Yes?
We've got a joy problem.
Oh, did you find her?
She's sitting over from us.
Well-
Denny's.
Who's trying to harm her?
No one. Is she trying to harm us?
No. She can't harm you." And then the match fizzles out.
That's good.
All right, let's go make a friend. Let's buy her another milkshake.
And yeah, so you guys just gonna kind of en masse go and look at her?
Kim's going back to check on the car. Or
And
Resolutely,
make sure the head is okay.
yeah.
I'm resolutely staring at my plate of hash browns and like Sunnyside eggs and just trying to have a normal moment for a moment.
Klajane, go over and go over and I don't know, ask her if she's on Tinder or whatever it is you people do. You kids
Oh,
do.
that doesn't even make sense.
I don't know what you children do, but make a connection.
Fine. If it'll just get us out, fine. And she shoves herself up from the nearly knocking the chair back and goes and stalks over to this.
Yeah, she's like 2 years younger than you. She kind of looks up at you worriedly.
Sorry, I know this is really weird. You just look like someone that I know and
Tinder.
Joy.
Yeah, I'm Joy. Hi, what's your name?
Cloisonne. Hey, Joy, do you know someone called the Eternal Human?
No. Give me a notice roll.
That should be a band.
I don't have Cloisonne's stats. I never played Cloisonne. I rolled a 25.
A 25. Let me look up Cloisonne's stats quick.
Probably a success because you can't really get.
Yeah, it'd be difficult to have a stat lower than 25, I think.
Yeah.
It's possible, but
It is
yeah.
possible. 20 is the lowest.
Cloisonne is, of course, at the bottom of the stack. Oh, yeah, she's got like a 50. She's solid. So as she puts her book away, you can see on the back of her hand, there's this big, thick, jagged white scar. And under her hair and her hat, you can see a little bit of more scar kind of hidden.
Got it.
Frank and Joy.
Oh, okay. I thought you. Sorry, I thought you might be friends or something. He seemed to know you.
No, I don't get to meet a lot of people, actually. This is, I don't get out much. This is like my 5th time. But I'd read about these. And she, takes another drink from the shake. She's like, yeah, these are pretty good.
So I actually pull the, I sort of pull the chair out and I sort of perch on the edge of it and sort of like, you don't get, sorry, I don't want to be weird or anything, but you said you don't get out much? Like, do you, like, stay at home?
Yeah. Sometimes the library's open, but most of the time it's closed, and that's okay. There's a lot of books in there.
You live in the library?
I live in a library.
Which one is that?
It's just called the library as far as I know. I haven't seen, and I'm not sure it has an outside. So you didn't want things to get weird, but I think that ship may have sailed. I'm sorry.
You're saying that in character?
Yeah, she says that.
Oh.
So who are you with there?
My mom and some weirdos she knows.
And she looks out the window at Kim. What's Kim doing?
Checking on the head and getting a gun.
Okay, roll me a secrecy.
All right. I failed.
And yeah, so Cloisonne, she looks over at Kim and then she looks back at you and she's like, he's not going to need that gun,
Listen, we're heading to Ohio with the giant stone head, and
the Mound Museum? I'm supposed to go there.
Why?
It's complicated. I'm supposed to meet a man who's going to impregnate me, but apparently that's not going to happen now.
That's weird.
Tell me about it.
Other things, but still weird.
I knew Tinder would come into it.
So we're heading to Ohio if you're going. I don't know if you...
Is that Karen? She's a swan sometimes, right?
Oh, God. Yes, sometimes. My mom...
Wow. Oh, I'm so sorry. Yeah. Wow. But But she's an okay mom, right?
Yes. I mean, I don't know. So
Has she ever done anything really bad to you?
besides dragging me into across the border life of crime, trying to break into a museum, and also like, I don't know, never being a normal rational person and living in the real world and like turning into a swan sometimes.
Yeah, it doesn't sound ideal, but I've heard worse.
She won't even let me take my clothes off to take a shower. Like,
Ooh.
I know. Super weird. Like, it seemed normal when I was a kid, but now, super weird.
That's rough. What about the others?
Jesse wants to light a second match.
You've only got 5 of them.
Four
For now.
now.
I mean, I don't really know them that well. I mean,
Do you think they'd hurt me?
no, I don't think that. Well, I think we're all a little on edge, but I think no, I don't think we're looking to hurt anyone. We're just trying to get this head. I just want to get rid of it.
Mm.
If you can help us, you should
Probably not, honestly.
Well, you
I'm
seem
not really useful. I've read about things, but I haven't done many things. Almost
Come on.
nothing.
I stand up and I offer my hand, like, to lead her. I want to lead her back to our table.
Okay, she comes along, but she doesn't take your hand. She puts her satchel and she shoves her hands in her pockets.
So this is Joy, and I guess she already knows you, Mom, or something.
Well, we've never met, but I just
And Dr. Ray and
Things are weird, darling. It's okay. You don't need to worry yourself.
arm
How
is
do you
so
know?
close. It's like I can't explain it.
I put my hand as I'm talking to her protectively on her forearm. A, to feel that fabric, because of course that's important. But B, to maybe, as I've taken my hand away, pull back her sleeve ever so slightly and see that forearm.
Well, the part that interests you is here, and her arm's down.
Ah, I see.
But as you kind of shift the sleeve, and she does not seem to like you touching her that much, you can see that the back of her left hand, it looks, the scarring is bad.
Mm.
It looks like actually, who's got Dr. A?
Yep, I don't know the character, but what do I know?
It's the worst skin graft you've ever. It's not even a graft. It's like, it's what you'd get if someone took out this and then sewed the edges together.
Yep.
It is amateur surgery. This girl is 16. That scar is at least 3 or 4 years old.
But Joy, what's your story? It looks like you've been through the wars.
And when you say that, she kind of shrinks back. She's like, some things have happened to me, sure. I used to live in the library, but I guess I don't anymore.
Where do you live now?
I guess this is a McDonald's.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe the library will open up again and I'll be able to get back in, but maybe not. It seems like some things have changed.
Joyce says she knows a lot of things, and maybe she can help us figure out whether we should bring the head back or not. Do you know anything about it, Joy? Like, what's going to happen?
No. I know I was supposed to go to the Mound Museum and encounter this immortal guy.
What did he look like? Was he an old guy or sort of?
I'd know him if I saw him.
If I still have my hand on her sleeve here, Greg, I'm going to try to cast the Soul Last Season spell, the
Okay.
look back in time thing. And with a flip-flop, actually without the flip-flop, I get a 29.
Okay. So what you see is you see darkness and then opening as she opens her closet and reaches in, and you can see that she has scars and tattoos because, she's wearing basically a towel wrapped around herself. So what you can see, let's see, which ones would be visible here? You can see the letters. You can almost read them, but they're moving. And she's got something in Spanish written on her shoulders. And yeah, as she's getting dressed in the shirt, you can see that she has, her head has another one of those amateurish scars right here. And where are the other ones? So the back left hand, her right foot up the calf, and the right side of her ribs. On her left rib, she's got a tattoo and another on her stomach. And all of the tattoos are they're all just black. They're not decorative. And the letters look kind of spidery, like they were done fast like she was squirming while they were being inked. That's what you get.
Okay. But not enough to read any of them or see any of the actual words.
The one on her stomach said, although the test results were incorrect, they could have been, and then you missed the rest of it. What did you do just now?
I am dreadfully sorry.
You're not, are you, though?
I'm not, Joy, because something terrible has been done to you, and it is not right, and it must be made right.
God.
And Claude, someday you'll understand, I assure you. But
I'll never understand you, and I'm going to storm out of the Denny's.
So, yeah, Kim's there. But Kim, are you just standing by the van?
I'm in the van. I wanted to check that the head is still safe. Get
That's
a gun,
fine.
and then sort of just do Overwatch, kind of like make sure that nobody from the other group is like coming up on the.
All right, so you see Claude storm out of the Denny's.
Can I call her or like open up the door and be like, Claude, come over here?
And I'm like, no, fuck you. And I'm just like, I don't want anything more to do with these weird people for even just 5 minutes of my life. And I go like, yeah, I just walk to the edge of the parking lot and just like sulk.
All right.
And you can see through the window. You can see, but you can't see her leg. And she's sitting with the others now.
So I'm going to go outside if I can and light that match.
Hold on, who has the matches?
He gave it to me, but I would have given Dr. A one if Dr. A had asked.
Okay.
I guess you've still got the matchbox then. I've only used one.
But yeah. Okay. So, all right. Yes.
It dawned on me. You said,
didn't you just get me like today? Or was that last week? Or is it? I'm sorry. It's confusing. There's a lot of time folding going on with you guys. Hopefully, it'll stay flat. What do you need?
You said watch out for Joey, but I've heard a lot of people double talk a lot over the years. And that can mean two things, like watch out for her, like we need to protect her.
Oh, Jesus Christ, she's a 16-year-old girl. She's harmless. People are gonna try and eat her skin. They're gonna eat her skin, Jesse. Her
So watch out.
skin.
All right. I take out a $20 bill, and I am going to try something stupid. I'm going to start talking with some weird cadence and puns to my voice, and I'm going to try the old loop flop on this guy.
Okay. How are you going to get him the 20? You going to set it on fire?
Yeah, I'm burning the 20 as symbolism that it's going to him.
Okay. Give me your roll.
So here's the bad news. That's an 88, which I can't flip-flop, and it's just a smidge above my ability.
Okay, so you touch the match to the 20, and it blazes up like it's made out of flash paper.
Mm-hmm.
Catches the book of matches.
Oh, no.
And they're gone. And there you're standing with just ash going, oops.
Are you with us, Todd?
I think we lost Todd.
You're back. You're back. Yeah.
Okay.
I was going over to Kim after I threw that.
Kim, you see Jesse doing something, and then suddenly there's this big orange light in his face, and he like jumps back.
Like,
The head is fine.
I may have just pissed off that guy we met earlier today, but he's telling us that watch out for Joy means like watch out for her like a little sister. Watch out for her like
Oh, so we should take her with us then.
Yeah, but full picture. We're watching her out for her because something's gonna eat her skin.
Okay.
I'm already working on that inside for what it's worth here. I'm saying to Joy, what's been done to you is unconscionable.
Let's call Dr. A and let him know.
I'm backing Karen's play, saying to Joy, look, come with us, you'll be safe. And I look up for a moment as if hearing a different voice. And I promise you, come with us, you'll be safe.
Do you mean this?
I swear it.
Okay. Give me a connect roll.
Okay. I roll a 44.
Is that a success?
I don't have Dr. A's stats.
Oh, right. So it's either a matched success or a matched failure. Ooh. All right. Where's Dr. A? We got Jesse, Dr. A.
For what it is worth, Greg, though, Karen is 100% legitimate on this. She feels terrible for this girl in the background, that she's seen of her.
And, when you say that to her, just one tear comes out and she says, I've never had anyone protect me before. The closest I've come is people deciding not to hurt me.
It's okay, you're safe now.
I really like to believe you.
I don't think you are safe. I think Dr. A is telling you what he thinks you should hear. But I think right now, you've been set up for something horrible to happen to you. You said you're to be impregnated. You're a young girl. You have your life ahead of you. This should not be something that you have resigned yourself to. And you're taking her away from here. She is not going to Ohio. She is not going with that head, and I'm taking her away from that head.
I think that's up to Joy. Do you want to come with me to Ohio, Joy, or do you want to go with Karen?
Karen, why do you keep staring at my arm?
Because there is something there, Joy, that I can't look away from. And it is all I could do to leave that sleeve in place so I can see it.
And she pulls her sleeve up, and you can see what's written on her forearm. It says the new brake cable was manufactured with a defect.
I knew that it was going to be something like that. Oh, uh,
Fuck.
well, that probably puts me into a stealth role or a helplessness role or something like that.
No. It's Karen's pretty well used to rolling with occult weirdness and seeing the worst thing that ever happened to her tattooed on someone else's arm.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, you gonna...
Doctor, she has a message that I'm sure is to you as well. And there's something written, well, there was that medical jargon on her belly that I'm referring to. There's something, it is not my place to divulge your secrets here, Joy. But to suffice it to
They're
say...
not my secrets. I have no idea who these happen to.
Well, this one happened to me.
Okay. Well, I'm
So-
sorry. I know they're always terrible. I'm sorry my mother did that to you.
Who is your mother, Joy?
Sorrow.
Ah, okay.
Sorrow and Joy. Your mother might be a worse mother to you than I am to Claugenet, if you can believe it. I beckon you back in if you're watching.
Oh, actually, I think I've already returned, and I'm sort of watching. Like I've just come in the front end and I watched a little bit of this interaction, and you can tell that I am not at all happy. Like I'm just so upset at you. You've shown more kindness and consideration to this complete stranger than you have to your own daughter, and dragging me into the midst of this. And I'm just like a mask of fury.
Claugenet, I've raised you to be strong. You've had the benefit of somebody forging you in your youth. This poor girl has had nothing.
You are so full of shit. Would you just listen to yourself? You'll say anything to excuse your behavior. And you
All right. So, Claugenet, as you're saying these hurtful things, are you just kind of spitting them out? Or do you mean this, and are you really trying to hurt your mom?
Oh, I'm trying to hurt her. Yeah.
Okay, what is it you want her to do?
Gosh.
I mean, just burst into tears?
I want her to apologize almost for being her, for ruining my life, for like not being normal.
Okay, give me a roll.
What am I rolling?
You are rolling to coerce your mother using your relationship with her, which is...
Sadly, this is probably an argument we've had lots of times. I rolled a 95 unless I have a passion or an obsession associated with this.
Wow. Yeah. No, this is rolled off. Yeah.
I just trail off.
And as she's just looking up at you, you're like, all you can think of is, if it wasn't for you, she wouldn't know where anything was. And if it wasn't for you, the checkbook would never get balanced. And if it wasn't for you, she would be lost. Not just emotionally, but in a very practical sense.
And so I go over to the cashier and I pay the goddamn check, just like I always do.
Very good. And I, in what is probably a shining example of my motherhood here, totally do not recognize my daughter's actual grief. Assume she's just throwing a tantrum, and continue to focus on Joy, because she's magic and interesting. And my daughter, sadly, is just my daughter.
And Joy looks at you and says, because of what my mother did to you, you have a choice. You could give me to her, and she'll do it again. But everything that happened because of this will be undone. You'll go back and your book will be rewritten like this never happened.
If I give you to her.
If you give me to her, and she hurts me again.
Oof.
Or there's something else you could do, which is better, and people do it. People do it all the time. The Greek child, and she points to her hip. She's like, the Greek child did it, and it was beautiful. Instead, and she reaches in her satchel and pulls out one of those little composition notebooks. You could tell me the best thing that ever happened to you, and I'll write it down and put it in the library. And when the world is destroyed, it will still be there, and it will become part of the next iteration. Your happiness can persist past the end of the world, and all you have to do is not hurt me. Oof. All right, so with that, I think that's a good place to break the session.
Yeah.
Damn.
That was awesome.
That was
Oh,
awesome,
that's
Greg.
fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's great.
First edition had an adventure called Joy and Sorrows.
Yeah, it was in one shots, I think.
Yep. So very early, and so I dragged that back out. So there it is.
All right.
Okay.
Man.
Thank you very
great.
much. This was a good session. I enjoyed it. I thought the fight scene was fun, and I thought the emotional scene with Joy was fun, and I thought the weird scene with the human eternal was fun. So I hope you enjoyed them as much as I did.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it was super
All right.
cool.
Thank you so much, Greg.
Super confused as to what's going on, but
Well, short version, you picked up on how the curse of joy and sorrows works, right? Is you get this terrible choice of, do you want to undo the worst thing that ever happened to you in your life, or can you resist that temptation, or do you want to give into the temptation of having your personal happiness folded into the mix for the next iteration of everything?
That's really cool.
Yeah, well, I can't take original credit. It was Tynes and Nicole Lindrus.
Who wrote the one shot?
Yes.
Yeah.
So
Hines was channeling something from beyond. I don't know what was pouring right into his head. I'm pretty sure.
yeah. So, all right. So I'm gonna log out, and I will see 2 or possibly 3 of you, I think, in the final chapter. So
Very good.
yeah, when you find out who among the opposition also has dark fates. Talk to some of you later. Thank you very much.
All right.
Take it
Thanks,
easy,
guys.
guys.
Enjoyed
Stay
gaming
healthy,
with you
stay-
all.